The final leg of my journey takes me to one of the most beautiful cities on earth, Gdansk. Founded in the 10th century and largely rebuilt after World War II, Gdansk is the only major city in Kashubia and is the region's unofficial capital. Since I previously did an entire 5-part episode on Gdansk and covered most of the major sites, I won't go into much detail in this video. This time around I'll be focusing more on the street culture and the city's lesser known sites. My exploration begins in the neighborhood of Nowy Port. I'm in the neighborhood of Nowy Port, which means New Port. It was established by the Prussians, and I wanted to show you this neighborhood before we visit the main city, so you can see the stark contrast of Gdansk, because this is the typical image that people have of Eastern Europe. That building right there, those were actually some old military barracks that were built in 1881. I think they might have been converted into housing now, but I'm not sure. Right here we have an old apartment block that dates before World War II. This weird looking building right here is called the Falowitz, which means the wave building. And then you can see it gets its name because it's all crooked. On the other side of the river there we have an old fort. This is the Church of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, and it was built by the Franciscans between 1957 and 1959. This is the Church of St. Hedwig of Silesia. This is the Cleveland Lighthouse. You can actually climb to the top of the tower and get a great view. Right below us you can see the Matwava River. And that monument over there is Westerplatte. We're on Brzeżno Beach, and right here we can see the Baltic Sea. This is cool. We had some rain a few hours ago, and that's the best time to see these Roman snails and slugs as well as other types of snails, because they come out right after the rain and you can see them all over the sidewalks here. And this big guy right here is called a Roman snail. We don't have them in the US. Here in Poland, some people actually eat these, and we have an ordinary slug right here. Cool. So even in the city you can find wildlife if you know where to look. Cool little guys. I'm gonna be honest here. I normally don't like returning to places I've already covered, but There is so much to see in Gdansk, and there were some interesting places I didn't get to cover on my last trip, so I'm going to try to get them this time. And although I visited some really interesting cities since my last visit, I have to say that Gdansk is without a doubt still my favorite city on the planet. It really is one place I don't mind coming back to time and time again. This building right here is the main town hall, one of the most famous buildings in Gdansk. There's actually a cool museum. I'm gonna head inside and check it out. Formal attire worn by the president of the city of Gdansk. Virgin Mary and the Child. This was a cabinet with a shutter dating back from the 19th century. Right here we have an old scarf. Behind me is the St. Mary's Cathedral. It was built between 1343 and 1502. And it's among one of the 3 largest brick churches in the world. And right here is the store that sells traditional folk art. These dolls in traditional clothing are really popular, and here they sell both Polish and Kashubian folk art. That one right there is actually a carving from the Tatra Mountains.
Aber 2 Jahre nach seinem
beautiful king's building you see behind me is actually where the bishops of St. Mary's Cathedral live.
Pronto.
Mam czas. To chcesz jeszcze na długo?
Well, this area that we're in right now is actually the old town, and the area we were in earlier was called the main town. That's something good to know so you don't end up in the wrong place. Over the centuries, Poland has produced some of the world's most famous scientists, and one of them was Jan Hevelius, who was known as the father of lunar topography. And in the 1600s, he actually described 10 new constellations. And this beautiful 16th century Renaissance building you see behind the statue is the old town hall. And it was at one point the home of Jan Hevelius. This beautiful Gothic cathedral behind me is the Church of St. Bridget. It was built in 1374, and it's known as being a place of worship for members of the Solidarność movement. Oh, this is pretty cool. I'm sitting in one of the pews where members of the Solidarność party sat and worshiped. This building right here is the Church of St. Catherine, and it's actually the oldest church in Gdansk. It was originally established in 1545 as a Protestant church, but then in 1945 it was converted to a Roman Catholic church. Another really unique and interesting thing about this church is that it also contains the world's first pulsar clock. And we're on top of the church tower, and you can see the entire city from up here. Oh wow. And we're back in the main city, and the Dominican Fair is actually taking place today. I attended it on my last visit, and it's an excellent time to experience some true Polish and Kashubian culture.
Chodź coś ci powiem. Zobacz tą wodę zaczyszcza, tam, o tam.
Są ładne też dziewczęta, mają niebieski oczęta, chłopczyk sama, kurce lat dodać. Hej, złóżko, hej, kaszubko, polegasz to tam masz pod jubką, byłeś ci mówią, każdy nie już to.
Szanowni tańszczanie, zwiewajcie piękni. Kupiec nad plecami prezes Międzynarodowych Targów Tańc, pan Andrzej Kasprzak, ojciec Marcin Bogiewicz.
I came to Kashubia with the notion that traditional Kashubian culture has all but vanished in Poland. Although it's true that Kashubia is not the same place it was 40 years ago, the Kashubians have managed to preserve their culture and heritage through the region's spectacular museums and festivals. However, it is up to the current generation to ensure that it survives. The Kashubian people have been some of the friendliest and proudest I've ever met, and I will proudly say that Kashubia is now one of my favorite regions in Poland, and I truly hope that today's Kashubia remains the same for generations to come.
Ale koło jest wesoło.